getting started. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rechach Wadash. Double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today, starting with Elder Apostle Taharon down. I also like to give double honor to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under, down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also would like to give another shout out to you, Sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this truth and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. I heard to y'all like to say Shalom. Alright, now coming back through the spirit and power you have by Shia Shai with another exhortation lesson. And pretty much I want to do a little lesson, quick lesson. Because yesterday I was at the grocery store, I had to get a couple things, for the house. And, if you in, South Carolina area or, near close by, they've been talking about this winter storm that's supposed to get real bad. It's pretty much damn near national news, They was talking about a very bad, snowstorm supposed to hit, black ice and all that stuff. And, I happened to go to the grocery store, yesterday, maybe yesterday. I took this picture maybe like a day or two ago, but I'm just not getting to do the video because I just got off the plantation. But, when I went in, and I checked the meat aisle, because I had to get a couple, things, like I said, from the grocery store, to cook. Well, for my rib to cook, and, we couldn't find nothing in there. The only thing damn near was there was damn near pork, man. And we don't eat pork, man. So hey, that was dead. We didn't touch that. That got left right there on the shelf. But what was crazy was all the beef, and damn near all the chicken was gone. Really that was all the beef, right there. And that's a little bit of ground turkey and like some chicken thighs, if you can see it. But I ain't took a picture of the pork aisle, because that was still full. It was pretty much full, but not full. It was more fuller than this, as I should say. But this goes to show you, man, hey, when things hit the fan, Jake gets scared, man. Jake get worried, But hey, it ain't crossed my mind, I'm just like, hey, this is prophecy, man. The storehouse is being unsown, man. And this is being caused by a storm, man. Not knowing that it's gonna get worse than this. This is just happening by a storm that's possibly supposed to happen. And it'd be funny if this shit don't even come. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the storm don't happen, man. Esau do things like that. He'll put it in, main media and just do test runs to see how the people react. Especially, if you was in South Carolina maybe like a year and a half ago, when Hurricane Helene had came, man, that shit took Jake, man, took Israel, well, really the whole goddamn people that was in South Carolina, it took them for a loop. They was scared, freaking out, had no gas, no food. People had to resort to fast food. Fast food was getting sold out, So now, reflecting back off of that, they're like, oh, hell no, we can't be caught off guard by this. But not knowing, dummy, if the power go out, all that food is going to get bad, depending on how long your power will be out, So you really spending all your money for nothing, technically. Yeah, I'm talking about they buying at the whole grocery stores. Really wasn't no water, I had to go to Walmart yesterday to get some baby food and, some garbage bags and stuff like that. And man, there wasn't no fucking water, cases of water in there, nothing. That goes to show you Jake. I ain't even gonna say Jake, but we love saying Jake because Jake gonna feel it the most, That's why it's called Jacob's trouble, man. So when Jacob's trouble come, man, how y'all gonna react then? If y'all reacting this way to a small matter, how much more in a greater matter, man? When Jacob's trouble actually hit the door, which is, Jacob's trouble really already here, but it's not in full effect yet. You know, it's not in full effect how the Lord said it was going to be. But as you see, you see no meat on the owls. You know, you don't really see nothing. That goes to show you, man. That goes to show you these people don't have a clue what's to come. Y'all freaking out like this. Like I said earlier, how much more in a greater matter? You're gonna have people really killing each other over this shit. You know? People rushing to get water and food. When they say, hey, we don't know when the next time we're gonna get food in the storehouses, man, people gonna really kill over this shit. Like it's prophesied in the scriptures. A man should spoil his neighbor's house for the lack of bread. You know? You know, when I went in that grocery store and I saw that, I'm like, man, prophecy is really about to be fulfilled. And like I said, man, Esau just doing test runs on y'all to see how y'all react to certain things. Like I said, the snowstorm might not even happen. And if it do happen, it's probably going to just be light snow. You know? Something that's going to melt less than 24 hours, man. You know, especially in the state of South Carolina. But don't get me wrong, I do, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Esau do bring a heavy snowstorm, but guess what? He's not gonna let you know when it's on actually here. He's gonna catch y'all off guard, like he caught y'all off guard with Helene. He didn't really push Helene heavy like that. But see, South Carolina never took things like that serious. We never really took hurricanes like that serious in the upstates, you know, because it was always just rain and a little bit of wind. But Helene did numbers now. It did its big one, man. I tell you that. That was one of the worst ones I witnessed in my lifetime. You know, that was, you know, I ain't never seen nothing like it. You know, I'm young, you know, 2001, but I will say this is probably one of the worst hurricanes. It is the worst hurricane I ever witnessed, man. You know, so it's a lot. But anyway, let's get some scriptures, man. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 8 and verse 26. It says, and he said unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Now, you know, this happened when, you know, the disciples was on the ship, of course. But the point I'm getting to is where he said, oh, ye of little faith. People out here really got little faith. They don't trust in Yahweh Shem Shah. They Yahweh Shem Shah can make a food. That's why they stuffing all their houses with food. Not saying, you know, not to say that there's nothing wrong with stocking up, but they just overly going crazy, man. To the point where they damn near crash out if you take the last water. And they was right there looking at you taking the last water. They might crash out on you. You know, they do. Let's just say, for example, you right there and you watch that person take the last water, but you was about to go get it. Don't worry about it. The Lord's gonna find a way for you to get some water, man. Especially if you His servant. What the Lord said: my servant should eat, but ye should be hungry. My servant should drink, but ye should be hungry. So don't worry, man. If the Lord, you know, I mean, if that man took the last, or woman took the last water from you, trusting Yahweh Shem Shah. See, these people out here don't got trust in Yahweh Shem Shah. That's why they going crazy like that, man. You know. But it said, and he said unto them, why are ye fearful? They fearful because of what happened with Hurricane Helene. They fearful now. Any little thing that goes in the media posted and it says it's gonna be bad, hey man, people in South Carolina are gonna react hard to it, man. And you can't even really believe everything on the goddamn news that anyway. You know, they lie like a motherfucker. You know, they work with the government, you know, what to push and what not to push, you know. But, you know, Jake don't know that, you know. But it says, why are ye fearful? Oh, ye of little faith. The Lord said we got to have faith as a mustard seed. A mustard seed is small, so as long as we got a little small faith, hey, that takes you a long way, man. Every brother's faith ain't going to be, you know, on the same level. Some going to be greater than others. But as long as you have that little faith as a mustard seed, hey, that mustard seed is small, but guess what? It sprouts up to be very big. You know, look it up. Look up a mustard seed. Look how small it is Look how big it can produce, you know. But let's go over to the book of Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. It says, this book of Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. Slop. And it says, thou should be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storm and tempest and a flame of devouring fire. You see the point? It said with storm. You see, they talking about a winter storm, you know. So that's the Lord, you know, if it does happen, you know, the Lord really do bring this, you know, this bad winter storm that like the media have been talking about. It's gonna be of the Lord anyway. The Lord done it, you know, because you're gonna judge certain jakes with this winter storm. You know, certain people being without power, cold, you know, certain jakes being without food, water. The Lord gonna kill a lot of motherfuckers with this winter storm, man. Like he said, thou should be visited of the Lord. So the Lord's spirit is gonna be in that winter storm, man. Look how, like how his spirit is gonna be on those missiles. You see? So Yahweh Shai said, what? Time is coming that judgment must begin in the house of Yahweh, you know? So like I said, this is going to be judgment from Yahweh Shai when he bring this winter storm, man. You know, Lord willing, we endure it. Lord willing, you know, Yahweh Shai, you know, cover his man. You know, if he do bring the winter storm, you know, we still going to have faith. We still going to trust in him. No matter what situation we have to be put in, we still got to put our faith in him. You know, we got to believe that what? He is. You know, that what his name mean. He is. He exists. You know, we have to believe that, man. So let's go over to the book of let's end it with second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 22. And it said, and suddenly shall the sown places. What are the sown places? The sown places are your stores. You know, your local grocery stores. You know, like, you know, for me personally, it would be like, you know, Harry Teeter's, you know, Food Lion, Publix, you know, Aldi's, you know, what else grocery store? Food, I think I already said Food Lion. But, you know, quality foods, you know, grocery stores like that, man. Really any store, man. You know, that sell goods or anything like that. But yeah, man, like you said, and suddenly, should the sown places, appear unsown. You see, they're gonna be found unsown, like you see in this picture. It ain't nothing on these shelves. It's gonna be worse than this. You know, it says the full storehouses should suddenly be found empty. You see, these storehouses are gonna be found empty very soon. This is just, you know, some would have empty, man. So just imagine, you know, when things really hit the fan, man. Things really get up there. You know, what y'all gonna do then? Because I can tell you right now, the grocery stores can only hold up the 3 days worth of food that everybody in there trying to buy. You see, they have to get food daily in that grocery store. You know, that's why when you go into your grocery store, you always see them. You always see somebody restocking something. It can only hold up, the shelves can only hold up the 3 days worth of meat, 3 days worth of food. You know, so just imagine when all that go and these truck drivers can't even get through. You know, these truck drivers, you know, they in the winter storm, they can't get through like that, man. So it may take days for your food to get to your nearest grocery store, man. You see? So, man, hey, all I can tell y'all, man, is stay prayed up and trust in Yahweh Shai, man. You know? So, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm going to close it with giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rechakwadash. Double honor to the elders, Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. Start with other parts to harm down. Double honor to the head and the elder of the man in Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.